The ACLU has long been synonymous with freedom of speech. They defended it from even the most hated groups like the Nazis, the Klan, even the Jehovah's Witnesses. It was never about what you were saying. It was about the liberal principle of your right to say it. Well, they have new guidelines now, namely that before taking a case, ACL lawyers should consider if the case might cause offense to marginalized groups, or if a potential client's values are contrary to our values. Contrary to our values? Your values are free speech and the First Amendment. Those are your values. Your whole purpose in life is not to be worried about offense to marginalized groups, because we understand that free speech is an even more important value than never being offended.
You'd think that now, as the entire woke circus is fading out, the companies that guzzled that Kool-Aid would finally wake up. Some did, but plenty are still clinging to the same anti-common sense nonsense that tanked their stocks and shredded their credibility. Enter Bill Maher, the unapologetic anti-woke warrior, ready to stomp out the last glowing embers of this cultural wildfire. And he didn't just talk about it, he did it live in front of millions, torching the hypocrisy right on his show. Let's begin.
Become the opposite of what you always were, you have to change your name. It's become a trend in America these days, morphing into something completely different from what you were founded as, but still pretending you're the old you. TLC stands for the Learning Channel. They used to have shows like Learn to Read and Ready, Set, Learn. Here's some of their present and recent offerings. Cake Boss, Gypsy Sisters, Toddlers and Tiaras, Extreme Couponing, What Not to Wear, My Teen is Pregnant and So Am I. 1,000-Pound Sisters and Alaskan Women Looking for Love. And that's just the shows about the Palins.
Ma kicks things off by torching TLC for abandoning its original mission, the Learning Channel. Once a network devoted to educating and inspiring Americans, TLC has, according to him, devolved into a circus of woke absurdity. Gone are the documentaries. And science shows that actually made viewers smarter. In their place are programs that glorify obesity, promote chaos by letting kids rule the house, and push the idea that you should only date people who echo your political or woke beliefs. Maher's message is clear. TLC didn't just lose its direction, it surrendered its backbone, trading knowledge and authenticity for pandering and virtue signaling. In doing so, it has become a perfect example of just how far corporate America has fallen.
The A in A&E stands for arts. Seriously, they used to show the symphony. Now they have Deep Fried Dynasty, Hoarders, Storage Wars, Ghost Hunters, and Psychic Kids. You know, for people who find the Learning Channel too intellectual.
Joining the bandwagon was A&E, once proudly known as Arts and Entertainment. But tune in today and you'll find something entirely different. The art is gone. The entertainment has been replaced by woke propaganda disguised as progressive storytelling. Instead of the thought-provoking documentaries and creative expression that once defined the network, A&E now pushes bizarre, agenda-driven content that glorifies confusion and calls it representation. It's as if the arts and entertainment have been completely erased, leaving behind a hollow shell that's all E for empty entertainment. Maher points out that what was once a platform for artistic brilliance has become yet another casualty of the culture war, proving that even networks built on creativity have chosen ideology over authenticity and ratings over reality.
History Channel has no history, and MTV has no music. I'm just saying, you can buy a petting zoo and turn it into a bondage dungeon, but you gotta change the sign.
Maher is absolutely right. These TV networks are drowning in hypocrisy. They parade their old brand names as if they still stand for something meaningful, yet their content tells a very different story. If A&E is now more about cheap entertainment than actual art, then drop the pretense and just call it E. The same goes for TLC. If there's no learning left in the Learning Channel, maybe it's time to rebrand as TC the Chaos Channel. Maher's point cuts deep. Don't claim virtue or legacy when your programming has completely abandoned it. Either live up to your name or admit you've sold out to the woke machine. Because right now, these once proud channels are little more than hollow echoes of their former selves.
Last year, Playboy put a gay man on the cover, which I guess we're supposed to celebrate, even though it was 2021 and there's already a dozen magazines for gay guys, 13 if you count Martha Stewart Living. Do we really need LGBT representation in Playboy? There's a transgender teenager on every show on television except reruns of Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea.
Beyond TV networks, another surprising entrant into the woke parade was Playboy. Yes, the iconic men's magazine that built its empire on celebrating women and masculinity. Out of nowhere, it decided to pander to the LGBTQ community, swapping its once bold and unapologetic image for political correctness. The irony is almost laughable. Nearly every TV show, streaming platform, and magazine already floods audiences with LGBTQ representation. Yet Playboy thought jumping on the same bandwagon would make it look progressive. Instead, it came off as desperate, betraying its brand and alienating the very audience that made it famous. Maher's point rings true here. Companies like Playboy aren't doing this out of genuine inclusivity. They're chasing trends, sacrificing identity for validation. It's performative wokeness at its finest, leaving behind a brand that no longer knows who it's for or what it stands for.
What is going on with the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue, which now celebrates all kind of bodies except, you know, the good kind. Was it really such a crime against humanity to have one magazine once a year that was about finding creative ways for supermodels to hide their... Now it looks like it's edited by the Huffington Post. Jeez, you have every other magazine. Do you hate Dad that much?
The whole idea behind this cultural shift was simple yet dangerous: to erode masculinity while glorifying femininity. Society began treating manhood as a flaw, something to be mocked or corrected, while femininity was elevated beyond criticism. That's why you never hear the term toxic femininity, only toxic masculinity. It became a convenient catchphrase used to shame men for being assertive, competitive, or strong. Look at the pattern. Television is filled with brilliant, flawless moms and clueless, bumbling dads who can't even change a light bulb without supervision. The message is subtle, but relentless. Men are the problem, women are the solution. Maher calls it out perfectly. This was no longer about equality, it was about rewriting the cultural script. Masculinity wasn't just sidelined. It was deliberately mocked, weakened, and replaced with a version of manhood that's afraid to exist unapologetically.
Valentine's Day, which was always a day to celebrate coupledom. It wasn't complicated. Flowers, chocolates, blowjob. And yet, every year now, I more and more hear this idea that Valentine's Day is also a day to celebrate being alone. Be your own Valentine. That's right, on the one day was specifically set aside to honor bonding between two people. Don't do that. Make it about the opposite of that. Be your own Valentine. Get your own cheap, stale chocolates at CVS.
Next, Maher turned his sharp eye toward Valentine's Day, and this one was almost comical. A day once meant to celebrate love, connection, and shared joy has now been hijacked by the woke mob and stripped of its meaning. Instead of encouraging romance or companionship, the narrative has been twisted to glorify loneliness. Suddenly, being single isn't just a phase, it's a lifestyle statement. You're told that wanting love or partnership somehow makes you dependent or weak. Maher ridiculed the absurdity of it all. A holiday built on affection, now turned into a self-love pep rally. The woke crowd has managed to drain the warmth and spontaneity out of Valentine's Day, replacing roses and chocolates with hashtags and hollow affirmations. What was once a celebration of togetherness has become yet another casualty of ideological overreach, and Maher isn't letting that slide.
The Boy Scouts of America used to be an organization for boys because girls have cooties. But now the Boy Scouts accept girls, which I guess is inclusive, but it ignores the very important need for boys to sometimes get together as boys to fart in a sleeping bag and laugh at that, which girls don't find funny. It also ignores the fact that there has always also been a scout troop for girls. You may have heard of it, the Girl Scouts.
The woke crowd's agenda never fails to outdo common sense. Take the Boy Scouts, for example. For generations, there were two clear paths, the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts, each serving a purpose, teaching values and building character in their own way. But suddenly that wasn't good enough. In the name of inclusion, girls had to be allowed into the Boy Scouts as well. Why? It's not as if the Girl Scouts were closed off or lacking opportunities. They already had their own proud tradition. But the woke movement thrives on fixing what isn't broken. Maher points out the absurdity of it all. Inclusion has turned into intrusion. This is no longer about equality, it's about erasing distinctions that once made sense. The result is confusion, controversy, and the slow erosion of institutions that once taught discipline, teamwork, and leadership, all sacrificed at the altar of performative progress.
Can't anything just be what it is anymore? Weight Watchers used to be a club for people to lose weight, back when that was a good thing. Now we're so through the looking glass that obesity, the absolute undeniable #1 cause for ill health and death in America, is called body positivity. And people are shamed for losing weight. It happened to Adele. Weight Watchers is so intimidated, they changed their name to WW. Why not just call yourselves Wait, don't tell me?
The body positivity movement, one of the few woke crusades I actually felt sympathy for. On paper, it began with good intentions, self-acceptance, confidence, and freedom from unrealistic beauty standards. But like everything the woke crowd touches, it spiraled out of control. Before long, it wasn't about self-love anymore. It became about glorifying obesity and dismissing legitimate health concerns as fat phobia. Maher called it exactly what it is, a ticking time bomb disguised as empowerment. You can't preach self-care while normalizing habits that actively harm the body. Science, logic, and common sense were all cast aside in favor of feelings. The result was a movement that collapsed under the weight of its own contradictions. Because no matter how loud the hashtags or how polished the slogans, you can't make unhealthy healthy, and deep down everyone knew it was only a matter of time before reality caught up.
ACLU has long been synonymous with freedom of speech. They defended it from even the most hated groups like the Nazis, the Klan, even the Jehovah's Witnesses. It was never about what you were saying. It was about the liberal principle of your right to say it. Well, they have new guidelines now, namely that before taking a case, ACL lawyers should consider if the case might cause offense to marginalized groups, or if a potential client's values are contrary to our values. Contrary to our values? Your values are free speech and the First Amendment. Those are your values. Your whole purpose in life is not to be worried about offense to marginalized groups, because we understand that free speech is an even more important value than never being offended.
Exactly my thoughts. Since when did the ACLU, the American Civil Liberties Union, start worrying about offending people? This is the same organization that built its legacy defending free speech, no matter how controversial or unpopular. Their mission was crystal clear: protect the rights of anyone, being silenced or persecuted for speaking their mind. But somewhere along the line, things changed. Once a few woke ideologues climbed into leadership, the ACLU's moral backbone began to crumble. The fearless defenders of liberty turned into cautious appeasers, picking and choosing which speech was acceptable. Maher hit the nail on the head. An institution once synonymous with courage and constitutional integrity is now an echo chamber for pandering politics. The ACLU stopped defending freedom and started defending feelings, proving that even the strongest institutions can fall when ideology outweighs principle. Maher's message couldn't be clearer. Wokeness isn't progress, it's cultural decay wrapped in moral superiority. From TV networks and magazines to scouting programs and civil rights institutions, everything once built on purpose and principle has been hijacked by virtue signaling and hypocrisy. These companies preach inclusion while excluding common sense, celebrate authenticity while silencing dissent, and glorify weakness while mocking strength. Maher's crusade isn't about politics, it's about sanity. It's a call to wake up from the delusion that destroying tradition equals enlightenment. Because when every pillar of culture bends to appease outrage, what's left isn't progress, it's chaos disguised as compassion. And Maher, for one, isn't afraid to call that out, loudly, unapologetically, and on live TV. That brings us to the end of today's video. If you enjoyed our spicy commentary, hit the like button and subscribe to Pixel Fork for more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.